What's up, everybody? It's the Bipolar Prophet, and welcome back to Old Ridge Farm in Farming Simulator 15. We're over here with the Unimog, hooked up to the seed tender because I have Perry over in field 1, finishing up the barley. We also have his twin brother Phil over on the home fields. He just finished spreading a layer of slurry down over the sugar beets that we just planted because, as you know, the drought continues and we're desperate to keep moisture in the fields. And Mike came up with a good idea about putting some muck down over the top of his planted fields, and I decided to do slurry because I had quite a bit of slurry, so it made sense to use that. But I have to go over and refill Perry now, so he can finish up that field and move on to the next one. Going to have to kind of make a decision, take a look around at the other fields and see what wants to go where moisture-wise. Want to get the more drought-resistant crops in the fields that are drier to begin with. So, because again, we're not going to be able to do any sort of irrigation. We will be able to spread some herbicide and fertilizer and stuff, and that, of course, has to be mixed with water. But we can't do any straight irrigation. So, I forgot I changed my steering rotation to 900 degrees, which is taking a little bit of getting used to, considering I was only running it about 340 before. So. Alright, let's see, where is he? He should be working on the headlands, I believe. Try to stay off the field as much as possible because obviously soil compaction is going to be an issue with the soil as dry as it is. And, if it doesn't rain, and we go into next season, assuming there is a next season, assuming this season doesn't completely put me out of business, we won't be plowing, so I really have to be careful about how I drive on the fields. I always get the pipe. Oh, no, the pipe's on the right side. So I always get the pipe on the wrong side of this thing. Oh, let's see. Can we get close enough to it to get it to unload? There it goes. Very good. Obviously doesn't take very much, so we'll just turn that off for now, and we'll get him going again. Any chance? Let's see. Drive course nearest waypoint? Let's try that. Oh, it's going to need fuel too. Okay, well, that's fine. No. That's what happens when you... I started this, and then I exited out... Oops, going to crash into the Unimog. I exited out of the game and kind of left him where he was, so... And of course, Courseplay now is just like, I don't know where I'm supposed to go, so let me, first of all, let me move the Unimog out of the way. That would probably be the smartest thing to do. How do I do this without driving on the field too much and without driving through the hedge? That's more on the field than I really want it to be, but okay. Couldn't be helped. Now, let's see here. I need some... We left off back here. I wonder if I can get him to pick up where he left off. Let's find out. I believe we're on this headland right here, I think. Let's see. Will he go from here? Maybe right there, maybe? Let's see. Or is he going to try to turn again on me? No, he's going to try to turn. Oh, can we figure this out, please? It's always tricky when you're on the edges of the field because there's so many waypoints, and you know what? So that I don't have to spend 3 hours doing this, I'll just do it myself. That probably makes sense, right? Let's just do it ourselves. So, you can see the soil moisture over here isn't awful, which is one of the reasons I decided to put barley on this field. So some of the other fields are really bad. So you know, the fields with the least moisture in them, I'm going to put soybeans on because soybeans are probably the most drought-resistant crop that I plant. So, now, is there any chance? Maybe. I know I keep messing with this, but I have some other stuff I want to do. So, let's see. We are field 1, 3 meters. That's what we want. Yep. And let's see. Nope, not that. Not that. Can we get... if we go nearest waypoint from here, maybe? What's it going to try to do? Oh, it's got 2 combined courses. Whoops. Stop, stop, stop. Let's try that again. Oh, what a pain in the butt, huh? I'm not sure he's going to do what he's going to do when he gets to the other side. We'll keep an eye on him. Make sure he's actually going to go around the waypoints and not try to come back down the other way. Is he got an offset? Looks like he's got an offset. Nope, no offset. Okay. Just the way the course was generated for the fields, I guess. Oh. Okay. At least he's on the inside headland, so that's good. So that means he should go all the way around and then come back and do the other 2. Probably going to miss a little bit, but that's okay. I'm not too worried about that. So just as long as he gets all of this done, I'll be happy. We'll probably turn those off now. Should have enough fuel to finish, I would hope. So the sugar beets are in the ground. We'll tab over there and take a look here real quick. So the sugar beets are in the ground. Everything's been slurried. It just made sense for me to put slurry down on the top of this because I had a lot of slurry. So now we got to decide what's going to go where. I only have the the 1 seeder anyway. So I'm really tempted to maybe get a cut on these meadows so that I can get some slurry down on them too. We certainly could use the grass. You know, it's obviously early spring. You know, the little bit of grass we had over the winter is gone now. So I'm gonna have to drive down the middle of the field because of the way that this field is. I have no choice but to drive down the middle. As long as I keep the amount of driving on the field to a minimum, we should be okay. This back to the dairy farm, drop it off. It's funny, when I turn my wheel past a certain point, for some reason it turns on the blinkers, which is interesting. Either that or I'm brushing the button with my finger. That could very well be. All the little things that whenever you make a change, it's like, oh, now this is happening, this is happening. I really hate to have to use this tractor to mow with because it's so big, but it really is, you know, I don't really have another use for it at the moment, so I will probably get, I don't know if I'm going to have enough slurry to spread on all the fields. Probably won't worry so much about the soybeans. It's really the sugar beets, the barley, and maybe the potatoes, which I haven't quite figured out where I'm going to put yet. They may actually go over there on the other half of field 11, just because it's a fairly big field and it's fairly square, so it won't be too much of a hassle to back up and turn around the potato harvester. So now let's get this thing parked up. I should wash this thing. I should have brought it over to wash it, but it'll be okay for now. It's going to get a lot more use, so no sense washing it just yet. I have too much steering. I'm not used to it. There we go. That'll do. That will do. Disconnect that. Let's see. Yeah, we got a little bit of hay left. Not so much silage, though. How are the cows doing for food? Do they need anything while I'm over here? Let's find out. let's see. Nope, they got plenty of mixed rations. We could give them some grass and some silage, I suppose. They got plenty of straw. They got plenty of water. I do believe that the pigs and the beef need water, though. They're getting low. Yeah, they need water. They're not going to take much, but they're going to need a little bit. So, well, you know what we'll do first? I'd like to try to get a cut. Turn my beacon on. Try to get a cut on these meadows to at least get started with. So if we can cut those, maybe get them rode up, you know, and then we can bale them at some point as well. Probably ought to think about getting a bigger mower at some point. I don't want to spend any more money. I've spent a lot of money already between the end of last year and the beginning of this one. And, you know, I don't want to spend money on stuff I don't absolutely need. So, because I just know this year is just going to be rough. Yield-wise, you know, we're going to spend, you know, we'll probably spend every bit as much money, you know, growing this stuff as we do any other year, but we're not going to make as much because the yield's going to be so bad. So, while we're here on this field, at field 10, I think I'm going to hop out and take a look and see what the soil moisture is like over here. So I have an idea of what maybe I should plant over here. Ooh, 9, 14, 14-ish. 14 seems to be the average. Yeah, this looks like it wants to be wheat or soybeans, I guess. Okay. Wheat or soybeans it is, then. So probably get 2 fields of wheat, 2 fields of soybean. Obviously, the sugar beets, the barley, some potatoes. And that should do it. But we're just going to have to be very careful about what we plant where. So now, obviously, in the game, the crops don't care. You know, soybeans don't. You know, it's not going to make a difference in the game if I plant soybeans in a dry field. You know what I mean? The game's gonna, the soil mod's gonna take the soil moisture the same way that it would for any other crop. But you know, just a little bit of added realism, I guess. Try to come up with a plan that makes sense. So. Get that folded up. I would really like to get a bigger mower, but you know, to be honest, I don't have, you know, the fields, the meadows that I have are not very big to begin with, and I just can't justify spending the money. So, well, since we're on this end, we might as well go up here and do 8 and 9 first. What if I should get? I guess we could probably get Perry to do this now that he's done slurrying, I guess. The only thing is, if I'm going to come behind him and rake it, the only thing I'll be able to use is the Ford. I really have to be careful with that Ford. One of these days, they're gonna yank me out of it, and impound it or something. Okay, now let's see. I'm pretty sure I must have a course for this. Field 8 mow. Well, that looks like it should be what it wants to be. Let's field work. First waypoint. Where is the first waypoint? That's the last waypoint, so that means the first waypoint is over here. Okay, very good. You can see these fields are not in horrible shape. They're a little low on end, but not too bad. You know, just in spots. So, and the soil moisture is very good, and I'd like to keep that up. And the only way we're going to be able to keep that up, you know, at any sort of, you know, consistent level is with slurry. So, go figure. These were the worst. These things were in the worst shape, you know, imaginable last year, and now they're in really good shape now. So, did I think I went a little too far. I'll get him back a little ways. There we go. You go do your thing. Speed 10? Yeah, 10's okay. Alright. Go ahead and turn those off now. Don't need those anymore. And mow some grass. Very good. You know, again, the size of these meadows, it makes it so that you don't get a ton of bales off them, but it'll be enough for now. And I'm really just cutting these, even though it's still kind of early. I really would rather not have to cut this early, but I think you know, it's going to make sense to get some slurry on the fields and to keep the soil condition as good as it is. So I'm really hoping I don't have to spread lime on anything this year, because, you know, as you guys may know, lime will suck the moisture out of a field in a hurry. So I'm really hoping. I would rather not have to spray any dry, you know, supplements at all. So everything, you know, and even if I did have to spray lime, I may spray it in a liquid solution. You know what I mean? Any excuse to put some more moisture on these fields. So what you doing? What you doing? Didn't I not put an offset on this? Could have sworn I put an offset on this. Ah, apparently you did not put an offset on this. That's the only problem with this mower. It always confuses me. I never quite 100% certain how to use it. Now I know he's going to come up here. He's going to turn around. He's going to go back down the middle of this row, but he is still going to miss some. So because Courseplay obviously knows where the work area on the tool is. You know. At least I think he's going to. That's what he normally does. Yep. Okay. There's no point in me coming up here and raking up behind him, because this meadow is just too small. We'll just be constantly in each other's way. So I'll probably just let him do this meadow, get him over on on number 9, and then I'll rake this one up. I should probably go check on the Puma, see what he's doing. He is going to miss a little bit, but that's okay. I could always clean that up afterwards. So let's go see how the Puma is doing. Is the Puma done? The Puma is done. Awesome. Very good. All right, so we can go refill him, because he's going to need it. So that's barley. Now, well, I guess... Oh, gee, he's going to drive on the field again to turn around. We'll go refill him and bring him over to field 10 and get him going on the soybeans over there in field 10, because field 10 is really low in moisture, so I think it makes sense to... put soybeans over there. Oh. This wheel's messing me up. But it's nice to have the full rotation of the wheel. You know, I just have to remember how it works. What am I stuck on here? What am I stuck on? That's, what the hell was that? That was interesting. Every time I change something, you know, it's funny. I spent probably half an hour earlier this morning working on, you know, doing some off-screen stuff, you know, and trying to get used to this wheel, basically, now that it's at 900 degrees. And I kept getting stuck on stuff, and I couldn't figure out why, but it's because I'm so used to only turning the wheel a certain amount, you know. You can see, you know, now I'm turning the wheel all the way around, and you can see how slow the wheels are responding, how slow the front wheels are responding, because that's the 900-degree rotation. So just something to get used to. It's funny, you know, obviously the storyline with the drought and everything, you know, that me and Mike are sort of, you know, have going. There's an actual, I mean, I don't know if he feels it. I should probably ask him. But there's an actual fear. Should I refill? I should refill this while I'm here, shouldn't I? Put soybeans in it and then refill it. There's, I mean, it's funny. It's a game, obviously, you know, and it's not like I want to go this way. It's not like there's, you know, I'm going to lose any real money or anything, but it's funny because we're so into the story, or at least I'm so into the story, that it feels like there's an actual sort of, you know, tenseness about it now. Like, oh, this drought, you know, is it gonna break? Is it gonna rain? Are we gonna lose everything? Are we gonna, you know, is this gonna cost us more money than we make? You know, it's all this stuff, and it's really, really cool. So you know, because obviously my guys still need to be paid, equipment still needs to be maintained, you know, needs to be filled up. So, you know, with fuel and everything, fuel is not cheap. So, animals need to be fed, and you know, and you know, their health needs to be maintained, and all of that. So, okay. So, let's see. Field 10. Field 10. 3 meters? Do I have a 3 meters? How do I not have a field 10 3 meters? I have a field 10 3.1 meters. What's that? This thing isn't 3.1 meters, is it? Well, it's definitely not 6, or is it 6 meters? 3, oh no, it is. Okay, okay, very good. Very good. I didn't realize it was 3.1 meters. Okay, cool. Fertilizer seeding, yes. First waypoint, and where is that now? I never remember, ever do I remember. Gotta be, over here somewhere? Over there, okay. Crank the steering wheel all the way around. Now I need a knob. Now I need one of those steering, the steering handle things, you know, that you can just kind of spin the wheel around. I should pick one up, because this is a you know, a standard width steering wheel, and those things will fit. So you stop, and you can now go and plant me some soybeans. Ridge markers are manual, very good. Although this does have ridge markers, so it's not really an issue. But yeah, this. Oof. Now again, the N level hasn't changed because it has one more day of the growth cycle before it will absorb the full amount of the manure and the alfalfa and everything that was planted. So I'm not so worried about that. The PK is pretty good. It's just the soil moisture, and there's very little I'm going to be able to do about that, you know, outside of maybe spraying herbicide, which I'm going to need to spray on the sugar beets once the slurry sort of absorbs in. You know, herbicide, fertilizer, things like that. There's definitely not going to be any water, so I know it sounds like a broken record with this, and that's all that, you know, we're pretty much talking about. But it's the major concern, and this year is, you know, last year wasn't great. You know, the drought obviously, you know, gave us a lot of extra work with a lot of extra irrigation and stuff, but we could still do it. You know, this year we can't, and I know everybody's just terrified. So, you know, money is really going to be an issue this year. You know, unless it suddenly, you know, the clouds, you know, burst forth with, you know, about a week of very heavy rain, and then wash everything away. That's the other problem. So, all right, let's see how. Yep, you're doing okay. Missing most of it because I'm an idiot and didn't set up an offset. I should have just done this myself because I'm going to have to go back and do it myself anyway. I should just get a set of butterfly mowers. I just cannot justify the cost. You know, if I had some really big meadows, I could probably convince myself that it's okay. But with the size of the meadows that we have for right now, I can't really, you know, sell myself on the expense of buying bigger mowers. So how much is he actually missing? Well, he's not missing very much, is he? Or is he missing any at all? Can't really tell from this angle. Well, it looks like he's getting it all, right? Yeah, okay, very good. Got to remember to put an offset on this the next time I mow over here, though. I won't remember, of course, but now you're gonna get stuck in this tree, aren't you? Yep, he will figure it out, though. He'll stop there, he'll slip a little bit, and he'll back up, and he'll figure it out. Okay, very good. So I guess now what we should do is since we're right here, we should jump into this and go get the rake. Which is where? Where is the rake? The rake isn't over here, is it? Did I leave the rake over here? I don't remember. No, it's at the main farm. Okay. every time I think I'm not going to need this old Ford, it turns out that I need it. So, and again, you know, I haven't heard from the guy who was interested in buying it. So he either changed his mind or you know, whatever. And to be honest, that's okay because I kind of still need it. So. So the sugar beets and the soybeans will be planted. That'll leave wheat, sugar beets, soybeans, and barley. I'm sorry. That'll leave wheat and potatoes. I should probably get some canola in the ground somewhere too, just for the, you know, so for the diversity payments. You know, because obviously the more, you know, the more acreage you have, the more different stuff you're supposed to plant to sort of stay within your payment schedule. So. And although technically I don't have a contract for canola just yet, I do have a contract for soybeans, I have a contract for sugar beets, obviously, and I have a pretty much standing contract for potatoes and barley. But I don't have a canola contract this year yet, but I'm pretty sure I'll probably be able to get one. So might put some prospect canola in the ground, maybe, you know, sort of looking ahead to the fact that where I can get a contract to sell it. So. Where is this silly rake? Where did I leave it? Is it in this shed over here? That's where it was. Oh, no, it's in this. Yeah, okay. Very good. Found it. All right. 27 minutes. I feel like I haven't done anything. Again, go figure, right? What else is new? Do I ever feel like I've done anything? We have got quite a bit done. You know, and I apologize if I'm a little quiet. I've got an awful toothache. It started to fire up the other day, and I believe what's happening is I'm catching a cold. Because you probably can hear it in my voice, I'm starting to get really kind of snuffly. And I think I'm catching a cold. The weather's starting to change here, you know, in New England. It's about time. You know, it's a little chilly at night now, and you know, and you can feel fall in the air, which is very nice. I like it anyway. But you know, without fail, every year, right around the weather change, I tend to get a little bit of a cold, and things tend to settle down in my jaw and in my teeth because my teeth aren't great, you know, and it's just been sore, so it hurts to talk, you know. Which makes making videos not maybe as much fun as it could be. So I apologize if I'm a little quiet. All right, my man, you go do your thing, and I'll just park over here for now and let you finish, and then I will move him, and then I'll come over and rake. Or rake at least this meadow. Shut it off, BP. Don't have the money to be wasting. You gonna finish? Yeah, you're gonna finish. You just creep up to the last waypoint. Very good. Stop driver. Reset that. Okay. Turn the beacons on. Get him over to field 8. Or field 9, I should say. Yeah, it's funny, you know, the amount of work that it took to get these meadows back to where they are, you know. And I am not going to let them get... You know, obviously I maybe had a little bit of an excuse last year because, you know, I had to rebuild the map and all that, as you guys know, after the Windows 10 disaster. But I don't have an excuse this year, so I really need to keep these meadows in good shape. And I'm still going to need to think about another source of grass. So, you know, I say it, you know, I've been saying it for 2 years now that, you know, we're gonna run out of grass eventually, but we managed to just get by with what we have every year, so I'm really not, it's not like I'm forced to go put another meadow somewhere, you know, or even buy another meadow. So, although now that Sean has, he has worked out his deal with the council about the North Meadows up there. He said that we're more than welcome to go up and take a cut off them or two, and I told him I'd be glad to go up there and spray nutrients on it, slurry and whatnot, not water obviously, but whatever it needed after I cut it. So okay, this is field 9, which I know I have a course for. Yes I do. And let me get a start and finish here. Is that the start over there? No, that's the end, so that means it starts right. Oh, I just missed it. Back up here. This it's tough to tell on the very edges, actually. Sometimes you can get a misleading reading from the very edges. Yeah, it's not awful. And again, the nutrients haven't really had a chance to soak in yet. So, but these will all be slurried after they're cut and raked and baled and everything. So, oh, did I want to put an offset on this? I did, didn't I? You know what? Not this time. We'll let him just do his thing. And I will figure that offset out for the next time. Okay. So, you can hang out. You're going right along. Very good. I shouldn't need to refill this. We'll see. Hopefully I won't have to. So, oh, slight acidity. Is this really going to need lime? Well, if it's going to need lime, it's going to go down as liquid. Yeah, 6.2, slight acidity. It's going to need some lime. Okay, well, I will guarantee you it's going down as liquid lime, because I'm not putting powdered anything on these fields. First of all, they're too dry, and with any sort of wind, the stuff's just going to blow off anyway. That's A, a waste of money. B, it's not good for the for the surrounding environment. So we're already getting a little bit of flack about dust and whatnot. And there's not anything we can do about that. You can see the amount of dust getting kicked off from the back of the seeder and the wheels of the tractor. There's very little we can do about that. So. So it's just that one spot that's sort of out of pH range, yeah. I mean, I could come spot spray them, I suppose. I've had to do that on this field. For some reason, this field is less consistent than the other fields. A lot of the fields will have a one particular soil condition throughout the whole field. This field tends to be spotty. It tends to have sort of in the middle. It tends to have low. Maybe it tends to get a little acidic, I should say. And then on the edges, it tends to be either a little acidic or maybe wetter than the middle. So, but I always want to see when he goes down and makes this pass here. See, it's all good right through here. If it's just that one little patch in the middle, I don't know that I want to go to all the trouble of spraying lime on this field for that one little patch. I can kind of live with it the way it is, I think. Because the rest, see, see. Yeah, right in there, right in the middle. So I guess we'll have to do some spot spraying, I guess. We'll come in and we'll spray some liquid lime down here, because it's a pretty significant amount. So, that's part of the thing. You got to read your soil. You got to read the different parts of the field. So, sort of the middle down of the field is acidic. So, okay, well, something to think about. We'll have to remember that. Oh, I really need to start writing this stuff down. All right, let's see if we can get this raked. Well, first of all, let's see if we can get the wheel centered. Might as well start up here. Now, if I was smart, I'd let Courseplay do this too, because I'll make a giant mess of it, but... yeah, you know what? Let's let Courseplay do this. Do I have... I must have a course for this. I must. Field 8. Mow. Field 8. Mow. Really only... But I do have this, so let's, okay. Put this on field work, put this on this. Never remember how wide this thing is. I think is this 6 meters, I believe? Not 100% certain. Lower that, because if you don't lower it, you'll get an incorrect reading. 8.7, okay. And I'll fold it back up, because he's going to fold it back up. Starting corner, north, east, maybe? Headed south. Let's go two headlands on this is going to be weird, but okay. Generate that. See what that looks like. Where's the start point? because I'm a complete idiot, and it's on the other side of the field. Okay, very good. How do I ever go anywhere I don't know my east from my west? Luckily, there's signs. Oh, I've got this set wrong. I've got it set to do the headlands first. Nope. Don't want that. Let's try that again. Okay. Field edge path. 8. No? I'm on field 8. Why do I not have a field 8 here? Did I not just have this set up? What field is this? If it's not field 8. What just happened there now? Hold on. Can I get a little bit of this action, please? No? Am I not far enough in the field? What's going on? All of a sudden, Courseplay decides to stop working? And Courseplay's been doing that lately. It just decides to stop working. Like, I had everything set up there, and then it stops working. Field 1, no. You stay there. Thank you. Huh, that's very strange. Well, you know what we're going to do then? We will steal this course. No, gotta make sure I reset them both, though. Okay. Oh, all kinds of problems, huh? Build 8 Mo, and we will 8.7. Why does it say field 10? It's very strange. Okay, you know what? Just do your thing. See where it wants to go here. Very strange. I don't know what it is with Courseplay lately. Something changed in it, and it'll occasionally do stuff like this where it will forget, you know, where it is, or it'll forget what it's doing. Or I know having it back up to do anything has become a real nightmare. I've been really struggling with that lately. So this wants to go the other way. So to keep it from making sort of a circle windrow on the edge of the field, I'll turn it around. Okay. Are you going to be able to do it from here? I should probably... Well, 7 miles an hour should be okay for a windrower. Let's see what this is going to turn out to look like. And I don't have a tractor to run a baler. The Ford will run the baler, but I'd really rather not, you know, put that much stress on it. So probably have to wait till the case is done. I guess we'll use the case to do all the baling with. Okay, well, he's doing the headlands first, but whatever. You know, again, not normally the way I would do it, but it will work for right now. So, I mean, you can see the soil moisture. It's 92%. I wish I could take some of the soil moisture and bring it to some of these other fields. It's good to see the meadows in good shape. You know, so hopefully the grass won't be a complete disaster as it was last year. So what you doing? This is what happens when you don't, you know, again, my tooth is, it's not that I don't want to play the game, certainly, because I do. It's just my tooth is really bothering me. And I'm finding it hard to focus, you know? So I'm just like, okay, there, Courseplay, just roll back and forth, you know, go over the same windrow 4 times. I don't really care. Just do something so I don't have to. What's the point of having hired workers, right? No. That's got to be a big old windrow. That should be quite a few bales there. That's good. No. That will be good. Got to make sure I rotate my bales too. I need to move the bales that are in that shed out so I can put these bales behind them. I also need to start stacking my bales in the other direction because what's happening is the bottoms of the bales are rotting because I'm, you know, leaving them stacked on the end like that. It's not good. No air can get down there because they're flat on the ground, you know, and they're getting wet and they're just starting to mold and everything. So you definitely don't want that. So, okay, how many times are we going to go over the same windrow here? Courseplay. You just keep moving his windrow over. whatever, I guess, right? Whatever gets it done. Whatever gets it done. Yeah, that's a big old windrow now. Good. Excellent. What is this actually? You know what? You know what I think the problem is? No, it's set at 8.7. Or is it only... Oh, it's not, though. It says it, but it's not, because it's set to the width of the mowers. Yep. So it's just going to keep going up and down on the... Oh, maybe not. Hold on. Yep. Yes, it is. It's just going to keep moving this windrow over. I'm going to have one gigantic windrow is what's going to happen. Oh, that's not great, is it? Okay. That's a fail. I will just do this myself. I will just do this myself. That will be fine. Whoa, 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 whoa. Stop. Oh, wheel. Can we get the wheel sort of straight? I wonder how long it's going to take me to get used to that. It's fine for racing, because I tend to use the full 900-degree rotation of my wheel for racing. But all of a sudden, you know, now I've decided to use it for farm sim and for Euro Truck, so it should be pretty interesting. In fact, today is Tuesday. You guys will see this on Wednesday. Tony Lurie left me a comment. I love Tony. You know, Tony is a longtime subscriber, one of my really good friends. And he left me a comment that said, you know, on the iRacing video that I put up today, he was like, oh, you know, silky smooth and blah blah blah. He says, you know, basically his point was, why can't you do that in farm sim? You know, that's a good point, Tony. I don't know. I guess because I don't take this quite as seriously as I take racing. I tend to take racing very, very seriously because I've been doing it for a very long time. So I guess if I put the sort of effort into this that I put into racing, you know, I'd probably be a lot better at it. But one thing you don't do, you know, like with racing, you go practice, right? You know, you're going to race on a new track, especially in iRacing. You're going to race on a new track, so you're going to go run, you know, 500 practice laps or whatever. You're going to spend 3, 4, 5, 6, you know, 8, 10 hours practicing, you know, and then you go run the race, right? Well, you don't really do that with farm sim. You just sort of jump in and you do what you got to do, you know. As you can tell, I could probably use a couple 100 hours of rake practice, because what am I doing right now? I don't know. The stuff I'm taking for my toothache must be really messing up my head, because I don't know what I'm doing. I just made a big circle there. Oh. Okay, BB. Put it together here, man. Put it together. I guess when they say on the bottom, do not operate heavy machinery, I guess they mean it. Because, I mean, what did I just do just there? Okay. To keep this... Oops, it's in reverse. To keep this video from being 3 hours long, me doing who knows what, let's pick this up a little bit. Okay. And down, and 3, and off we go. Middle of the rows, BP. Middle of the rows. There you go. There's a reason you let Courseplay do this stuff. Or there's a reason I let, you know, my guys do it, because, as you can see, I don't know what I'm doing. So, it's when my guys usually run over the tractor and go, all right, boss, clearly whatever you're doing is not working, so, you know, let me have this. Again, I'm just making a big mess. What am I doing? Again, you know, a serious YouTuber would say, okay, well, this video is a joke, and I'm not putting this up. But I'm going to put it up because it is a joke, so. You know, and again, I don't try to be dumb. I don't go out of my way to be dumb. You know, it just sort of works out that way, unfortunately. This thing drops so slow, too. I forget about that. Considering how little I like this rake, I just for some reason cannot bring myself to sell it. Because I don't need a different one. I don't need a bigger one, you know. And there's not a lot of fan rakes out there. You know, they're all multiple, you know, 3, 4, or whatever, you know, getting up into the 12, 20, you know, 30 meter width. I don't need that here, so. kind of stuck with this one, I think. Although I suppose I got to eliminate this process altogether, since I only ever bale this grass. I don't ever, although I do ted it. I do ted it occasionally to make hay, so. Alright, now we're going to drive through the hedge. We're going to try to clean up our mess here. And we will call this an episode. So, pretty serious in the beginning, you know, and then kind of silly at the end, I guess, which is, you know, okay. I think that's the way it probably should go, you know. You know, the drought is obviously on everybody's mind. You know, everybody's thinking about it, but it doesn't mean that, you know, sometimes you can't have some silliness, so I know I can certainly use it. You know, it's funny, the mood at the pub, you know, generally, obviously, you know, everybody in this area works really hard. You know, it's hard being a farmer. It's hard work, you know. It's a lot of hours in the sun and in the heat and, you know, the dust and everything else. And generally, you know, not so much during the week, but on the weekends, sometimes, you know, we'll all go down to the pub and we'll have a few and we'll raise some hell and we'll, you know, whatever. But the mood down there lately has been getting a little dark. You know, there's a lot of guys that are really concerned about, you know, their future as farmers. So, you know, the majority of the farms in this area are very old, have been here for, you know, at least 100 years, if not more. So the prospect of losing that, you know, is terrifying. It's terrifying to me, and I haven't been here for 100 years, so even though this particular farm is very old, but I'm just going to tidy up this last little bit here, and then we'll call this an episode. And then I think I'm going to go lay down before I drive a tractor into the pond or the creek over here, you know. Yep, when it says do not operate heavy machinery on the label, read it. And read it, really? I can't even make a coherent sentence. Oh, get out of the tractor before you kill somebody, BP. Silly toothache. Alright. That will do, that will do, that will do. And B and X, we'll get that folded up. Let's see. Thumbnail? You know what? No, I want... kind of like this tractor for a thumbnail better, I think. Oh, yeah, missed one strip down the middle. Okay. Gotta get the offset figured out on this. So, again, you know, any tips or suggestions you guys have on that, be glad to listen to them, be glad to take them, you know. So, do I want to do it from out here, or... sure, why not? That'll work. Now, let's see. Is everything going to go flying up in the air when I do this? Oh, guess not. And we will take the screenshot. And I will say thank you very much, guys. Thanks for coming and watching the video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. As always, I look forward to reading all your comments, you know, your tips, your suggestions, your feedback, anything you guys want to leave me. You know you're more than welcome. I really appreciate it. I love reading it. I love replying to it. You guys make me think sometimes, you know, and you give me a lot of great tips and stuff that I wouldn't know about normally, you know. And I really appreciate it. Also, if you're new to the channel, you just came and you saw, you know, Old Ridge Farming Simulator, you wanted to check it out, you know, and you liked it, make sure you click the like button. It helps me in the channel out a whole bunch. It moves me up into search recommendations, and more people get to come and enjoy the sometimes silliness that is my videos. As always, guys, thank you for everything you do for the channel. It means a ton to me. You know, I can do this without you. I don't want to do it without you, and it's as simple as that. And as always, thanks for making me a part of your YouTube day. And this is the Bipolar Prophet saying, see you later.